Justin Baldoni just landed a massive blow against Blake Lively in court, and it's got Hollywood shaking. The It Ends With Us drama exploded into a legal war, sexual harassment claims, defamation lawsuits, and a $400 million showdown. Now the judge's latest ruling could signal the end for Lively's case. Was this a knockout punch? Stick around as we dive into the filings, the evidence, and what this means for both stars. It's wilder than you think. Let's cut straight to it. The legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively has been a roller coaster, and the latest court ruling might just have tipped the scales. On March 13, 2025, U.S. District Court Judge Louis J. Lyman handed down a decision that's being called a win for Baldoni, and it's not hard to see why. This isn't just about It Ends With Us anymore. It's a full-on clash of reputations, careers, and cold, hard cash. So what happened, and how did we get here? Buckle up, because this story's got layers. First, some quick context. It Ends With Us hit theaters in August 2024, raking in $50 million on its opening weekend. Based on Colleen Hoover's novel, it's a romance that pivots into heavy domestic violence territory. Lively starred as Lily Bloom, while Baldoni played Ryle Kincaid and directed the film. On paper, it was a hit. Behind the scenes, a mess. Rumors of tension between the two started swirling during the press tour. Lively seemed distant, Baldoni was barely visible, and fans picked up on it fast. Then, in December 2024, the bomb dropped. Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, alleging Baldoni sexually harassed her on set. She claimed he pressured her into more nudity than agreed, improvised intimate scenes without consent, and later launched a smear campaign to tank her reputation after she spoke up. Days later, she escalated it to a federal lawsuit in New York, targeting Baldoni, producer Jamie Heath, and Wayfarer Studios co-founder Steve Sarowitz. Her filing was brutal, accusing Baldoni of retaliation, emotional distress, and negligence. It wasn't just a legal move. It was a public gut punch. Baldoni didn't sit quiet. In January 2025, he fired back with a $400 million countersuit, claiming Lively's accusations were lies meant to salvage her own image after a rocky press tour. He argued she took control of the film, sidelined him, and fabricated harassment claims to play the victim. His team didn't stop there. They sued the New York Times for $250 million over a December 21, 2024 exposé titled, "We Can Bury Anyone," inside a Hollywood smear machine, which leaned heavily on Lively's side. Baldoni's camp called it libel, alleging the paper colluded with Lively to ruin him. Oh, and they threw Ryan Reynolds into the mix, accusing him and Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan, of extortion and defamation. This wasn't a spat. It was war. Fast forward to March 2025, and the courtroom's heating up. Lively's team pushed for a protective order to keep sensitive discovery materials, like medical records, security details, and texts with A-list pals, under wraps. They argued Baldoni might leak them to the press, citing violent, profane, sexist threats she'd received after going public. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, didn't fight the confidentiality part but balked at the attorney's eyes-only restriction, saying it'd hamstring their defense if they couldn't share evidence with Baldoni himself. Judge Lyman split the difference on March 13th. He granted a modified protective order. Some stuff stays secret, some's for lawyers only, but rejected Lively's broader demands for a 2.5-year document sweep. Friedman called it a win, saying, it kept the focus on necessary communications to debunk Lively's claims. Why is this a big deal for Baldoni? Simple, no gag order. Lively's team wanted Friedman muzzled after he'd trashed her in the press, calling her a bully, and her lawsuit an abuse of the legal process. On February 3rd, at a hearing, the judge warned both sides to cool it with the public circus, but didn't slap a full gag on Friedman. That's huge. Baldoni's camp can keep talking, and they've got a megaphone. They'd already launched a website, The Lawsuit Info, dropping texts and timelines to back their story. One clip shows Lively joking about spray tan with Baldoni on set, laughing together. Hardly the vibe of a harassment victim, they argue. No gag order means they can keep that narrative rolling, and it's a thorn in Lively's side. Lively's not backing down, though. On March 20th, she filed to dismiss Baldoni's $400 million suit, leaning on California's Assembly Bill 933, a 2023 law shielding people who report sexual misconduct from retaliatory defamation claims unless they knowingly lied. Her lawyers called Baldoni's countersuit vengeful and rambling, a desperate bid to silence her. They say she had a good faith belief in her allegations, and Baldoni can't prove she acted with actual malice, the legal bar for defamation. 2 days earlier, Reynolds filed his own motion to ditch the suit, arguing calling Baldoni a predator was just an opinion, not a legal liability. It's a bold play, but risky. If the judge buys it, Baldoni's case could crumble. If not, Lively's on the hook for a deposition, and Friedman's itching to grill her. What's the evidence look like? Lively's complaint cites specific incidents. Baldoni allegedly hovering over her during a scene, pushing for unscripted intimacy, and retaliating when she complained. She claims other women on set confided similar discomfort, per Ann amended, filing in February. Baldoni's team counters with behind-the-scenes footage and texts showing Lively in control, even praising the film's vibe. They say she's got no proof of a smear campaign, just a PR flop she's pinning on him. The NYT article's a flashpoint. Baldoni says it's a hit piece. Lively says it's journalism backing her up. Discovery's ongoing, and both sides are digging for gold. Or dirt. The stakes? Massive. Baldoni's suing for $400 million, claiming Lively's accusations trashed his career and Wayfarer Studios. Lively's fighting to clear her name and prove Hollywood's still got a harassment problem. The trial's set for March 9, 2026, but Judge Lyman's hinted he'll move it up if the media war keeps raging. Public reactions split. Some see Lively as a Me Too hero, others call her a calculated diva. Baldoni's got defenders who say he's the real victim, smeared by a power couple flexing their clout. Social media is a battlefield, with ex-posts like "Blake's malice will lose in court" clashing with "Justin's done." Back to the March 13 ruling. It's not game over, but it's a flex for Baldoni. The protective order's narrower than Lively wanted, meaning less of her private life's locked away. Friedman's free to keep swinging in the press, and Baldoni's team can push their "she's lying" angle unchecked. Lively's dismissal motion's a long shot. Courts rarely toss defamation suits this early unless the law's crystal clear, and AB 933 is untested in a case this messy. If it fails, she's facing Baldoni's lawyers head-on, and they're not playing nice. Friedman's already called her motion abhorrent, promising to hold her accountable. What's next? Discovery's the wild card. Lively's team says they'll unearth more proof, maybe witness statements or set logs. Baldoni's betting on texts and footage to paint her as the aggressor. The judge is watching both sides like a hawk, ready to crack down if leaks or stunts escalate. Hollywood's glued to this. Will it set a precedent for Me Too backlash or just be another celebrity slugfest? Either way, the March rulings got Baldoni's camp buzzing. They're calling it a turning point, a sign Lively's house of cards is wobbling. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about court. It's personal. Lively and Reynolds are a power duo. Her Gossip Girl fame, his Deadpool swagger. Baldoni's a TV vet turned director. Less entrenched but scrappy. Sources say the feud's straining Lively and Reynolds at home. Tensions high under the spotlight. Baldoni's doubling down, suing his ex-publicist Stephanie Jones on March 12, claiming she fed Lively's team ammo. That's 6 lawsuits total, everyone swinging. The film's legacy? Tarnished. A story about surviving abuse is now a punchline for legal chaos. So, is it over? Not yet. Baldoni's win keeps him in the ring, but Lively's got punches left. The dismissal motion's pending, and Discovery could flip everything. If Baldoni's evidence holds, he might bury her claims. If Lively's got receipts, his countersuit's toast. The judge's next call could be the real decider. Will he let this drag to 2026, or fast-track the reckoning? One thing's clear. This is Hollywood's ugliest breakup since Depp v. Heard, and the ending's still unwritten. So, Baldoni's riding high off this ruling, but Lively's not out cold. The courtroom's a pressure cooker, and Discovery's about to blow the lid off. Whose secrets spill first? Texts, tapes, witnesses, it's all coming. The judge might speed this up, and then it's gloves off. Will Baldoni's $400 million dream hold, or does Lively flip the script? This isn't just a win, it's a warning shot. But wait, there's a rumor Baldoni's team just found something big in those set logs, something that could change everything. What is it? Well, that's the next bombshell, and it's already ticking. So Baldoni's got this win in his pocket, Lively's, dismissal motions on shaky ground, and the judge isn't playing her gag game. But what happens now? The dust hasn't even settled, and the aftershocks are already hitting. Hollywood's watching like it's the season finale of a reality show, and trust me, the next episode's brewing something fierce. Let's break it down, what this means for both of them, how the internet's losing its mind, and why this could still flip faster than a plot twist in It Ends With Us. First, the fallout for Lively. She's not just fighting Baldoni, she's fighting a perception war. March 24, 2025, and X is a battlefield. Posts like "Our Truth Seeker LA's Blake's whole Me Too card's a sham, those texts don't lie," are racking up thousands of likes. Baldoni's team dropped a gold mine on their lawsuit site. Messages from 2023 where Lively's joking with him about spicy banter and pushing boundaries. Her camp says it's out of context, that he's cherry-picking to make her look bad. But the damage is real. Her pristine America's Sweetheart vibe, built on Gossip Girl and those Reynolds family pics, is cracking. Sources close to her tell Variety she's devastated but resolute, prepping a counterattack with more witnesses. Problem is, every move she makes now risks looking desperate, especially if that dismissal motion flops. Baldoni's not unscathed. Either. Sure, he's got the W, but his reputation's a mixed bag. Some see him as a guy standing up to Hollywood giants. Ex-user IrFilmFanatic99 calls him the underdog we need. Others aren't buying it. A thread from All Me Too Voice digs into his past, flagging a 2020 podcast where he downplayed on-set power. Dynamics saying, directors have to push actors sometimes. Lively's team pounced, citing it in their February filing as proof of his mindset. His win might keep his case alive, but it's not winning hearts. Google Trends shows Justin Baldoni controversy spiking 300% since January. He's playing offense, but the court of public opinion's still out. Let's talk money because this is Hollywood and numbers don't lie. Baldoni's $400 million suit against Lively and Reynolds isn't just bold, it's a bet. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, told Deadline, "We've got evidence of lost deals, big ones, because of their campaign. Think directing gigs, brand partnerships, stuff that dried up after Lively's December filing." Wayfarer Studios, his company, saw its valuation dip 15% since the scandal broke, per a Forbes estimate. Lively's not hurting as bad, her net worth's cushioned by Reynolds' Deadpool cash and their gin empire, but her team's hinting at emotional damages in the harassment suit. If either side wins big, someone's paying a fortune. If they lose, legal fees alone could hit 8 figures. The X factor here, pun intended, is the internet. X posts are driving this story harder than any tabloid. Baldoni's team knows it. They're live tweeting updates like Wayfarer Truths, court says no to Blake's censorship, truth stays free. Lively's quieter, but her fans are loud. I Blake Lively stan posts, she's a survivor, not a liar, with a thread of her charity work to counter the hate. Then there's the wild stuff. A March 22nd post from Oranon Conspiracy claims Reynolds hired bots to flood X with anti-Baldoni takes. Unproven, but it's got 50K views. The platform's a free-for-all, and both sides are weaponizing it. Problem is X doesn't care who's right. It thrives on the chaos. What's next in court? Lively's motion to dismiss Baldoni's suit hinges on that Me Too law, AB 933. If Judge Lyman buys her argument, Baldoni's $400 million claims toast by April's end. But if Friedman's actual malice angle sticks, say proving she lied about those harassment claims, her whole case could unravel. Legal analyst Mark Garagos told CNN, "This is a coin toss. Baldoni's got momentum, but Lively's got the bigger war chest." Discovery's the real wild card. Starting April 2025, they'll swap documents, and with the judge's highly relevant ruling, stuff's going public. Imagine Reynolds' texts to Baldoni hitting X, or Lively's set notes leaking. It's a ticking time bomb. Baldoni's not waiting around. On March 23rd, he's spotted at a Wayfarer event in LA, smiling for cameras, dropping cryptic lines like, "The truth always finds daylight." His team's pushing a narrative. He's the victim of a power grab by Lively and Reynolds, who allegedly wanted It Ends With Us as her directorial debut. Her side fires back in a People exclusive. Justin's rewriting history. She never asked for his job. The film's crew is split. Some back Baldoni, saying he ran a tight ship. Others whisper to Variety about tense vibes and Blake's frustration. No one's named yet, but depositions could drag dozens into this mess. Reynolds isn't out of it either. His motion to ditch Baldoni's suit is still pending. Filed January 28th, he claims he's just collateral damage. Baldoni's not letting go, alleging Reynolds strong-armed him in that penthouse meeting. A text from the suit backs it. Reynolds writing, "We're a team, right?" in June 2023. If the judge keeps him in, this becomes a three-way brawl, and Deadpool's charm won't save him in court. Lively's leaning on him hard. Insiders say he's funding her legal push, pulling strings behind the scenes. Baldoni's betting on that backfiring. Overreach could turn the jury against them. The film itself? Buried under this. It ends. With Us was a win, $345 million on a $25 million budget, but the sequel's in limbo. Sony's mum, but a March 19th deadline report says Wayfarer's out if Baldoni stays attached. Lively's camp wants her helming it, citing her vision in the first. Baldoni's fighting to keep control, claiming she undermined him from day one. The cast's dodging questions. Atlas actor Brandon Sklenar told ET, "I'm just here to act, man. Colleen Hoover's neutral, but her ex likes lean pro-Baldoni. This isn't just a lawsuit. It's a franchise tug of war." Back to today, March 24th. Baldoni's win isn't final, but it's loud. Lively's team's scrambling, filing motions, prepping PR spins. X posts hint at a big reveal. Insider scoop. Teases Blake's got an ace up her sleeve, wait for it. Could be a witness, a recording, something to flip the script. Baldoni's not slowing down either. Friedman's promising more evidence this week. The judge is fed up, warning both to focus on facts, not headlines, but that's not stopping them. This is a grudge match, and neither's blinking. So, where's it heading? Trial's set for March 2026, but it might not get there. Settlement talks could pop up. Both have too much to lose. Baldoni's career's on the line. Lively's reps fraying. Reynolds could push for a deal to protect their empire, but if it hits a jury, it's anyone's game. Texts, tears, and all. The real question, who's got the better story? Baldoni's. Smeared director tale, or Lively's harassed star fight? Hollywood's holding its breath, and X is ready to explode when the next shoe drops. Baldoni's on top for now. Lively's reeling, and the courtroom's his turf. But don't count her out. She's got Reynolds, resources, and a knack for turning tables. Discovery's looming, and those secrets could sink either one. X is buzzing, the stakes are climbing, and this isn't ending quietly. Will Baldoni ride this wave to victory, or is Lively about to drop a bombshell that flips it all? The judge says the truth's coming. Question is, whose truth? Stick around, because the next move's dropping any day, and it's going to hit like a freight train.